The Motorola G series has long been the go-to affordable phone to buy. Since being swallowed by Lenovo, however, Motorola's strategy has had to change to challenge with its competition. As a result, the Moto G6 Play represents a big change for the series. It's the most affordable out of the trio of G6 models. Plus and Standard are also available, delivering the largest battery capacity of the three, but for the smallest price. Like its G6 brothers and sisters, the Play considerably ups the quality compared to earlier generations in the series, presenting a more design-focused shift. That means a more expensive handset than earlier G-series models, but that's no surprise given a market that's not only dominated by Apple, Samsung and Huawei at the top end, but many other companies in the mid-price sector. Has the Moto brand made the right moves to reassert its affordable phone dominance, or does the G6 Play lack in the current market? Plastic build, 175 grams Gorilla Glass front, 154 by 72 by 9 mm. The Play is the most affordable G6 on account of its pared-back design. It's not bad-looking by any means, but rather than using glass or metal like the other G6 models, its back is instead covered in an attractive glossy plastic. Pocket lint or review model is a dark blue and you might even think it's glass when viewed from a distance. Grab a hold of it and it becomes immediately clear that it isn't though, but that means it's less slippery, doesn't attract fingerprints quite as easily, and is lighter too. The Play roughly mimics its more expensive siblings' designs, even if it is the budget option of the bunch, although the front is slightly different. There's no fingerprint scanner here, it's on the rear instead, which results in relatively little bezel and a longer aspect ratio screen. It's not a fully clutter-free design, though, as there's a Motorola logo on the bottom chin, as well as a front-facing LED flash alongside the earpiece and selfie camera on the top, all of which add to the edging. It's no Vivo NEX, put it that way. Wired headphone users will be pleased to know the Moto offers a 3.5mm jack on the phone's top edge, while the bottom edge plays home to a micro USB port. It's a shame to see such a dated port on the bottom of this phone, especially with so many other phones adopting Type-C. The other two G6 models included pocket lint. Overall, the G6 Play looks and feels like a modern smartphone that appears a step above its asking price. It's perfectly good for day in day out use and certainly doesn't look like a cheapie, thus cementing the G6 series' new and more premium appearance success. HD IPS LCD display, 18:9 aspect ratio resolution, 720 by 1440, 282 pixels per inch. You'll find slight compromises across the board in almost any low-cost smartphone. With a G6 Play's display that's presented in form of a lower resolution. Rather than the more common Full HD 1080p resolution, Lenovo has opted for HD. On this longer aspect ratio screen, that means 720 vertical lines, with 1440 horizontal ones. And that isn't nearly as terrible as it might sound. Held at arm's length and the G6 Play's details are plenty good enough. Pocket lint colors from the LCD panel are accurate to our eyes, while colors have ample pop. That said, colors aren't the most vivid and bright we've ever seen, as to be expected. Bright green app logos, for example, still shine through. Being a longer aspect ratio means the G6 Play has an ideal canvas for Netflix originals shot in 18:9, filling the screen with video rather than adding horizontal letterboxing or vertical black bars on the side. If you like to watch flicks while holding the phone close to your face, then you'll perhaps notice a little roughness around finer details, but as that's not how anyone is likely to hold the phone, it's not worth worrying too much about that. Android 8.0 Oreo Moto app for automated features. As has been the case for some years now, the software loaded onto any new Moto device is clean and minimal, based on the stock Google Android operating system. One-third pocket lint. Motorola does add some of its own additions, housed in a single point of entry, via the Moto app. This handles display, actions and voice, for various automations of the phone's functions. Whether that be scheduling when the screen goes into nighttime mode, killing the blue light to help relax your eyes towards the end of the day, or actioning responses via physical gestures, it's neatly arranged and easy to adjust such controls. In addition, the ambient lock screen, which has been a staple of Moto phones for years, is also found here, giving you a quick look at the clock and access to notification snippets, all without needing to unlock the phone. Snapdragon 430 processor, 2GB or 3GB RAM, 16GB or 32GB storage. With any budget smartphone, it's worth remembering not to set your expectations too high when it comes to performance. Clearly, with a Snapdragon 430 processor inside with either 2GB or 3GB of RAM, it's region-dependent too. The G6 Play's performance is fine, but isn't going to blow you away. However, it's about as good as you'll find from a sub-£200 phone. Things that would normally be achieved in a split second on a high-powered flagship take a little longer in the Moto G6, but it's not an unreasonably slow device. General interactions feel fast enough, such as launching the app drawer, swiping through home screens or dropping down the notifications shade. Pocket Lint its other tasks that take a bit more time. Anything that requires data to be downloaded, whether that be web browsing, downloading music for offline playback or additional files for games, all take longer with this phone than on a pricier and more powerful device. Launching games can take a little bit of extra time, too. Still, it's never so slow to be frustrating. We'd comfortably use the G6 Play as our main daily device without becoming fed up with its speed. 4000 mAh battery capacity, turbo power, fast charging. Where the G6 Play really shines is with its impressive battery. It's a 4000 mAh cell inside, which, for those who pay attention to such things, is noticeably more capacious than what's on offer in most handsets. Even the regular Moto G6 has 3000 mAh, while long-lasting phones like the OnePlus 6 has 3300 mAh. It's not all about the numbers though, it's about how it functions in the real world. And this battery more than does the business. With light moderate use, we've been pushing this phone through to the evening of a second day. In fact, we'd be surprised on the odd occasion that we finish the first day with less than 50% charge remaining, having started the morning with a full battery. It's that good. Pocket Lint, when the battery does run empty, the provided turbo power charger does a great job of topping it up quickly. If, for instance, the Play phone runs empty in the middle of the day, you can plug it in for 15 to 20 minutes and have enough power to see you through the rest of the day. That helps to take away any battery anxiety. In a way, however, it's odd that the other G6 models don't have larger batteries. We'd rather have the G6 Plus power with a more capacious battery and pay a little bit extra for the pleasure. The Play's prominent battery but lower-end overall spec won't be a logical selection for all users. 13MP single rear camera, 1080p video resolution, max 8MP front-facing selfie camera. Another frequently compromised area in budget smartphones is the camera experience. That's the case in the G6 Plat to some degree, although it's not too bad for such an affordable device. 1/9 Pocket Lint. The 13-megapixel rear camera takes decent enough images in daylight, retaining ample detail and natural colors to make attractive social-friendly photos. In low light, as expected, results drop in quality considerably, with details starting to get a little ropey and colors fading. We can't be too critical, though, as it is a budget smartphone and it's a decent enough camera for the asking price. Verdict: for a phone that costs only £170, the Moto G6 Play offers a whole lot of goodness. Its biggest selling point is its battery life, which just goes on and on. Even power users would struggle to drain it in a single day. The problem with the G6 Play, however, is that it's one of 3 G6 phone options. As the baby of the pack, its huge battery capacity seems oddly matched with its modest power. The camera proposition isn't that great either. For those hunting out an affordable phone, the G6 Play brings the series design bang up to date, while offering fuss-free software, in a great all-round package. Its only threats come from the wider G6 range and some increasingly popular brands like Honor and Nokia. But none of those can compare when it comes to the Play's battery life credentials. Pocket Lint. This year's regular Moto G comes with a higher resolution screen, more powerful processor, more memory and more storage than the Play, plus a glass build. With that premium bump comes a bump in price, though. Read the full article. Moto G6 review. Pocket Lint. MD Global is going full-on with its launch of Android-powered Nokia smartphones. Among those is the Nokia 5.1, available at a similar price to the G6 Play, but which has a more premium aluminium chassis, a higher resolution display, and runs on the Android One platform, which is like stock Android. The drawback: its battery is nowhere near as capacious, so won't last as long. Read the preview. Nokia 5.1 initial review.